Have you found yourself struggling to rent where finding a home feels like a job interview and it's left you questioning, am I ever going to find a home? I'll unravel the challenges that tenants face, from financial disclosures to bidding wars and mushroom-infested bathrooms. If you feel you've been wronged by your landlord, there's a solution and support that you may not be aware of. The hunt for an affordable home. Gone are the days when renting a home was a straightforward process. You used to look online, view a few you like, say yes, agree to the paperwork, and then you were handed the keys. Not now. Instead, prospective tenants find themselves thrust into chaos and stress where financial transparency is demanded. This becomes even more challenging for students who are not just assessed on their suitability as tenants, but judged according to their educational status. In London, our beautiful yet very expensive capital, the housing challenges are next level. Prospective tenants who are already grappling with the soaring cost of living are getting outdone by wealthier tenants or tenants from well-off families who in extreme cases are offering landlords a year's rent up front. This is making the city's housing market accessible to those lucky enough to have significant financial means. Others with smaller salaries and the inability to provide this type of money up front are getting overlooked. Bidding wars have become the norm, distorting the housing market as some properties command prices well over their advertised value. This actually happened to me 7 years ago when we moved back to Manchester. I was really shocked when the estate agent asked me how much we wanted to offer. This tactic is now pricing people out of the market and leaving them wondering if they're ever going to find a property. Houses with simple luxuries like double glazing or that have a decent amount of room or storage disappear off the market really quickly. Yet estate agents, driven by the fever of the housing market, encourage potential tenants to bid above the already inflated asking price, leaving many without a place to live. I've heard really shocking tales of dilapidated flats, like a bathroom with mushrooms sprouting from the walls. I caught up with 26-year-old Kelsey and asked whether she'd faced any poor living conditions whilst renting.
We had black mold all over the ceiling, in the bathroom. And I used to go in and get rid of it every 2 weeks. They were like, oh, it's just a bit of mold, like open the window. And we were like, there's literally black mold like all over the ceiling. It's like dripping. And then, my health used to be so bad when we lived in that house. It was so damp and horrible. And before I'd be ill every 2 weeks with a really severe flu cold.
Kelsey also told me about a life-threatening issue that she faced.
We had a gas leak. Someone who I was sharing with, their father came round and smelled gas in the living room. So we contacted the landlord and they sent what they told us was an engineer, but we assume was maybe one of their friends, said it was fine and covered it with a plastic bag, the leak. So we ended up calling out British Gas and then they came and they were like, this is like really severe. It was like 11 at night and they had to drill a massive hole into the road and outside the front of the house to try and fix it.
Surely this is supposed to be one of the perks of renting. If something's broken, that it should be fixed and to a good standard by a professional. These are your rights as a renter and landlords should not be getting away with this. Are we being exploited? As housing costs spiral upwards, are landlords exploiting the desperation of those in need, or are they just adapting to the surge in the cost of living? You'll have probably seen this question posed on social media and the news. The struggle to find an affordable place to live raises moral questions about the acceptability of landlords capitalising on this struggle. Is it unethical, and is the system creating an inequality, leaving people from less affluent families struggling to gain independence in a place of their own? Should landlords even be allowed to own more than one property to lease? Now, all of these questions have come to light whilst tenants struggle to find a roof over their heads. Tenant empowerment. There are many challenges with renting that can make tenants feel powerless. It's important to explore your rights, understand complex lease agreements, and navigate legal avenues. Kelsey's experienced many issues whilst renting, and I asked her if she thought many tenants were aware of their rights.
I don't think so at all. It's illegal for them to ask for you to pay for cleaning fees now, and it has been since 2019. But I didn't know that. I found that out for a friend. And then also being part of London's Renters Union really helped because they do know all of your rights and what landlords can and can't do. So I'd always recommend being part of a union because they've been incredibly helpful.
So just to reiterate, if you find yourself facing any issues, unions will be able to give you the advice and support that you need. In a world where housing is deemed a basic right, make sure that you demand the respect and fairness that you deserve. And if you've never rented before, or you're still relatively new at it, I asked Kelsey what advice she'd give to a first-time tenant.
Looking at reviews or previous experiences that people have had with the person that you're going to let with is incredibly important. Checking the energy rating, double checking like things in the contracts as well, how long the notice is on the break clause, how long have you got to find somewhere else, checking windows and checking out for mold as well. Just making sure there's like lots of ventilation, especially in the bathrooms, that they've got like a vent in there or a window.
Would you say as well then, if you had like a budget, I don't know, I'm plucking numbers out of the air, but say my budget was £800, would you
Yeah.
say to look for properties that were £700 so that you've got room to barter over the asking price?
Yeah, I think that is the way to go. If you're looking on spare room, I'd probably look below, so then you have the opportunity to bid above. But then if you're going through an actual agent, then the agent we worked with, we were like, this is our budget, that's it.
Hopefully, this has empowered you to confront the issues that fuel discrimination, bidding wars, and unscrupulous practices by some landlords and estate agents. It shows that the whole renting process needs reevaluating. Everyone should have access to affordable and decent living conditions.